All right, so, oh wait, there's a button here on the inside right here.
Are you ready?
Chauffeur me around.
Absolutely, sir.
Oh, here comes the rolls.
Yeah.
Speaking of massage, we have our zones. Oh, duration. Let's see. Ooh. There we go. So I welcome you guys into the back seat of the 2023 Genesis G90, and I'm currently being chauffeured around on the test drive portion of the Mama event, and I think we're going to do a comparison to a Rolls-Royce, either right after this or here in a short time frame. But I would say these massage seats in the reclined fashion, quite comfortable. So I think this is the first time I've been in a Genesis vehicle, or at least the G90 segment, since they called it the Equus back in the Hyundai days. And I would say Genesis as a whole has come quite far. And I think the vehicle driving dynamics and just the overall amenities that you're getting for the money definitely show that quite a bit inside of this vehicle. So it's pretty impressive here in the back seat. You have all the amenities you want. This one is the 3.5T mild hybrid with the 48 volt architecture, in addition to the 3.5 twin turbo V6. We have the large screen here for rear occupants. All four seats are heated and ventilated. You have rear, all four seats are massaging as well. We have all the controls here on the right and left side of the center armrest, wireless charging for your phone. You even have a sanitation thing in the center console that uses UV light to sanitize your phone. Charge ports inside as well. All the materials throughout the cabin are extremely soft touch. AC vents all over the place. We have the Bang & Olufsen premium audio. Like I showcased at the beginning of this video, we do have power partially opening, but power closing doors on all four. Yeah, really everything you would want in a luxury sedan, especially be chauffeured around in a fashion like this. So this is quite impressive, and really do like the interior color combination on this particular car. What driving mode are we in? Because they do have one for like extra soft chauffeur mode.
Do they really?
Yeah.
We'll go down.
I gotta close out all. Calm down, sir. I am no rush. But the amount of rear legroom inside of the G90 is one of the biggest benefits of a vehicle like this. Of course, you have your rear leg rest that will recline out via all these digital controls here on the left and right side, including the screen itself, which also includes the rear sunshades. You can move the passenger seat forward and backward as you wish by a touch of this button. So if there's somebody you don't like in the front seat, simply press the passenger button, and I assume you can move them up out of the way or cram them into the dashboard. The acoustics inside here, extremely quiet. We have the acoustic, I assume, microphones up here on the headliner to cancel out any ambient noise that makes its way into the damped cabin as it is. But this is quite impressive. So I think the vehicle we're in is either right at or just over $100,000. Now I guess we're gonna hop in the Rolls-Royce, which is more than 4 times the amount, and see what the experience is like in the backseat of that car. One thing I know for sure, since I've seen it already, is the interior is quite different in terms of the color and some of the materials, but as a whole, I'm sure the size of the vehicle is quite similar. So now we're gonna be jumping in the Rolls-Royce Ghost. This one, as the MSRP goes, is just under $500,000. So yes, you heard that right. About $486 on this particular one. And you can see the exterior as well as the interior colors are quite stunning. Although I have to admit, this gray, it is a $16,000 option. I believe it's called a burnout gray. It really doesn't strike me as a unique color in that regard, but let's go ahead and set everything up and go for a chauffeured ride and see how it compares to the G90. So here we are setting out in the Rolls-Royce Ghost, and immediately one of the things that I like about the interior, maybe a lot of people might not, is the color scheme on this particular one. With all the orange black accents, and the biggest thing that strikes me upon getting inside of this vehicle is just the material feel as well as a lot of the hardware aspects. Feature-wise, there's actually, I would say, a little bit less features back here, although you do have the rear seat media screen systems on each of the two front seats. But as far as I can tell, there's no cooled seats in the back. There's no massaging seats for rear occupants, although the seats themselves are extremely comfortable, and you do get the pillows on the headrests, much like that of the G90. You still have your power closing doors. It's up here on the pillars on each side, but nonetheless, it's an extremely nice interior, and it's also whisper quiet on the inside. So if anything, I would say it's just a touch quieter than that of the G90, but a lot of the materials and stuff are very similar between the two. This one's just a little bit out there in terms of all the fancy chrome trim. The seat tracks themselves, I can see down near the floor, are a darkened chrome finish. You have vents on the floor. All of the, like I said, the hardware for the vent, AC, just really stand out, and to me seem just a little bit higher quality, but nonetheless, both these two cars are extremely similar, and I would say extremely nice. We're actually following the G90, and this is powered by a twin turbo, I believe, V12 engine, which is a little bit different from that twin turbo V6 with the mild hybrid system in the G90, but nonetheless, you can't hear anything inside.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh man, that's really where the engineering comes into play. Let's do an acceleration here. Effortless. Effortless.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say for the size,
Ways, but
yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah. I think that's a little bit better than the G90. So it looks like heated and ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel. We have quad zone climate control, only heated rear seats. A little bit skimpy in my opinion for the price point, but we have AC vents all over the place, speakers all over the place. I like how you can control the volume on each of the rear doors via these little scroll wheels. We have USB-C charge ports down here on the lower section in the lower pockets. That's a pretty nifty spot. There's your power door close up here on the pillars, like I mentioned. And the starry headliner, as we go through the trees, you can really see it now. All controlled up here with all of the interior lighting. You can turn on each of the passenger lights, control the headliner lights, and a few other things as well. It looks like dim and brighten up the lights with that switch, but nonetheless, this is extremely comfortable with all the Rolls-Royce embroiderments all over the place. And the one thing that I can't forget here for rear seat occupants, I'm not sure it's something you should enjoy while driving, but if you get to your destination and want to have a glass of wine chilled to your tastes, pull down this flap in between the two front seats. There's another flap that you pull down. 2 wine glasses and a cooler with a single beverage appears, all LED lit here in between the two front seats, and I think you can adjust it here as well. So something you definitely will not find in the G90 currently. However, if you guys have followed the Hyundai and Genesis vehicles, specifically the Equus of the past, that did have a rear seat cooler once upon a time. So that was something that Hyundai did do back in the day. However, I don't think that is something they currently offer, which definitely goes to the Rolls-Royce here. Heat seats and armrests together. Heated armrests.
It's kind of nice.
Whoa. Yeah, it's the door armrest and the center console armrest. Wow.
Please say the desired address or a point of interest.
I do like that it's British.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, where's their cooled seats and where's the power adjustments? I don't see any of that. We will have to verify that when we get back about the cooled seats and power adjustments, but I know there's no cooled seats because it was not in the menu and it was not in the buttons down here. So hopefully that's an available option, but it could be, 10 or 20,000. So we'll have to see about that. It's properly quick for its size. It should be though. Well, overall impressions, I would say the bang for the buck in the G90 is definitely there. This will probably be the only time I'll ever be in a Rolls-Royce. How do you close it from the outside?
Oh, I'll show you. You
Okay.
just so if I come around here,
Okay.
there's this little rectangle, and so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of encourage it, right? So you push the rectangle, encourage
Gotcha.
it closed, and it'll just.
So is there no ventilated rear seats or power rear seats?
There, so we have Serenity seating is an option. It's not
Okay.
in this particular one, but that's where you push a button and it reclines. The
Yep.
footrest comes up and
Okay.
the back goes back. They are definitely heated in the rear.
Yeah.
And I can't recall if there's a ventilation in the rear. I think there's definitely a ventilation in the front.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So what does that seating package cost?
That's a great question.
Okay.
That is a great question. A lot. And then for it, I think you may have to get then Ghost extended. Or for example,
Oh,
Phantom extended.
I was gonna say this
because you
isn't
are
the-
adding feet and inches. So I think that is a requirement in the extended.
So this is
anyway.
the shortest
This is the
wheelbase.
standard wheelbase. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Oh, look at that.
So cool.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed this fun chauffeur comparison between the 2023 Genesis G90 and the 2022 Rolls-Royce Ghost Black Badge. Now I know these are two vehicles that really may not compete in the real world because of the potential buyers for these two vehicles, but in terms of the actual physical size, dimension, feature set, I think they both do accomplish similar tasks. When we start looking at the Genesis G90 and the Rolls-Royce Ghost side by side, now obviously they are two different vehicles. You know, one is powered by a twin turbo V12 engine that pushes out like 591 horsepower and over 600 pound-feet of torque. You really do feel that performance difference inside the vehicle during the acceleration. It's extremely effortless. Where we go over to the Genesis G90, well, this one was the mild hybrid version with the 48-volt system, which combined the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 and that mild hybrid system for a combined output of just over 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. So this is quite different versus that of the Rolls-Royce, and really that is one of the aspects that I think is quite different. But another big difference on the interior that I felt was a lot of the hardware and the mechanical aspects. This is really where you feel the quality of the Rolls-Royce and what makes it stand out in terms of the other luxury sedans, maybe from BMW, Mercedes, but also Genesis like we did in this video. All of the hardware is, you know, extremely nice, chrome plated, all the way throughout the interior. All the leather materials are very genuine, but both vehicles have extremely soft leather on the inside. But nonetheless, the hardware, the buttons, the physical controls, even the door feel, it's a nice hefty door feel in the Rolls-Royce, where you don't necessarily have the same feel in the Genesis, although both of them did have power closing doors or the power assistance functionality, which is crazy, but is something you expect in a vehicle of this caliber in these days. But the one biggest difference between the two was going to be the price point. As we saw, $101,000 for the Genesis G90, pretty much fully loaded, and that's with an extra cost paint color. Where we move over to the Rolls-Royce, well, that one as equipped was $486,000. So in theory, you could easily buy 4 Genesis G90s that we drove for the same price of that Rolls-Royce. So that's just something to consider, but nonetheless, I know the buyers and clients are going to be much different for these two, but there might be some cross shoppers, who knows. Maybe you want to go with a Genesis G90 for the overall value aspect, which is insanely good in that vehicle. I think Genesis has done a phenomenal job. But if you just want the all-out baller mobile with the cool custom interior, exterior paint colors, all the unique aspects you can do with the Rolls-Royce vehicles, well then you're certainly going to pay for that, but you will get one high-quality, top-notch vehicle that is very unique nonetheless. I don't think many Rolls-Royces are going to be equal in terms of all the materials, colors. They're pretty much all custom made to the client that is buying them. But hopefully you guys just enjoyed this video. I thought it was just a fun comparison. I realize they maybe aren't direct competitors, but in terms of the overall chauffeur experience, I would probably hand it to the Genesis G90 just for the extra amenities that this one had versus that Rolls-Royce Ghost. But again, you can get the extended wheelbase with the Serenity seating like mentioned in this video. But yeah, as a whole, I thought it was a very fun video to make. Great opportunity to be in a Rolls-Royce, maybe the only one in my lifetime that will be able to do that. But I thought it was just a great opportunity at the 2023 Mama Spring Rally. So with all that being said, hope you guys just enjoyed this quick, fun comparison. If you guys did, make sure to hit that like button below. Subscribe if you guys are not already subscribed, and check out some other content I have from the 2023 Mama Spring Rally. I might make a playlist here on the channel depending on how many videos I end up with, but there are a few others that should be live or going live here very shortly, so make sure to check those out. And with all that being said, hope you guys enjoy as always, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.